Can the rich go to heaven? This question sparked by Jesus' profound statement in the Gospels of Matthew chapter 19 verse 24. It is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich person to enter the kingdom of God, invites us to deeply contemplate the relationship between wealth and spiritual salvation. At first glance, Jesus' words seem to suggest a stark dichotomy between wealth and entering God's kingdom. But is this a literal condemnation of all wealth? Or is there a deeper, more nuanced spiritual message? One popular interpretation of this metaphor is the idea of the eye of the needle being a small gate in ancient Jerusalem. It is said that this gate was so narrow that a camel could only pass through it after being unloaded of its burdens and stooped. This vivid imagery parallels the spiritual journey of unburdening oneself from the attachments and dependencies of material wealth. The metaphor of the camel and the needle underscores the perils that riches can impose on one's spiritual life. Wealth can create an illusion of self-sufficiency, a false security that distances us from the reliance on God's grace and providence. It's not the wealth itself that is the issue, but the attitude and attachment towards it. Wealth can lead to a sense of pride and self-reliance, which are antithetical to the humility and dependency required to enter the kingdom of God. Jesus' teaching also reveals the difficulty of prioritizing spiritual riches over material ones in a world that often measures success by material accumulation. It challenges the rich to reflect on their priorities and the hold their wealth has on their hearts. It's a call to detachment, where wealth is not possessed by the heart, but merely held by the hand, ready to be used for the greater good and in service to others. Furthermore, the disciples' reaction to Jesus' statement, one of astonishment and questioning who then can be saved, leads to a crucial teaching about the nature of salvation. Jesus responds, "With man this is impossible, but with God all things are possible." Matthew chapter 19 verse 26. This response shifts the focus from human ability to divine grace. It implies that salvation is not something earned or merited, but a gift from God, accessible to all, rich and poor alike, through faith and reliance on God's grace. The question, can the rich go to heaven, therefore, is not a condemnation of wealth in itself, but a caution against the spiritual risks it poses. It's a call to humility, generosity, and a heart oriented towards God rather than material possessions. For the rich, it's an invitation to use their wealth responsibly and charitably, always keeping their spiritual health and relationship with God at the forefront. In essence, this teaching of Jesus is a profound reminder of the transitory nature of material wealth and the eternal significance of spiritual riches. It encourages all, regardless of their material wealth, to seek a heart aligned with God's will, demonstrating humility, generosity, and trust in divine providence.